Hi everyone, this is Yolanda. Welcome to my accounting tutorial. Today I'm going to talk about the financial accounting, introduce about the statement of a service business. So I'll divide my tutorial to 4 parts. Part 1, definition of service business. Part 2, the process of the statement of a service business. Part 3, the process of income statement and balance sheet is also relevant with the service business. And the final part is the example questions about service business. So firstly, what is service business? Actually, it's quite simple to understand. A service business is a business that sells service directly to consumers or other businesses. Services are intangible in nature, only appearing when required by the consumer, which makes the nature of the type of business very different from that of others. There are some examples that belong to service business. For instance, hospitality sector, consulting, appliance repair, computer support, healthcare activities, business service, and real estate and education. There are so many parts, so many different businesses belong to the service business. All in all, in all of these cases, people are being provided with a service. So the people is the main part in the service business. So secondly, the process of a service business in financial accounting. So this process are divided into 3 entries. First entry, closing the revenue accounts to the profit and loss account. The first entry in the journal is posted to the debt side of a revenue account and the credit side of the profit and loss account. Second entry, closing the expense accounts to the profit and loss account. Second entry in the journal is posted to the debt of the profit and loss account and to the credit of expense accounts. Third entry, transferring the net profit or loss from the profit and loss account to the capital account. That means the capital account is the net profit. So this entry in the journal is posted to the debt of the profit and loss account and to the credit of capital account to show a profit. If it's not a profit, the debt side of the capital account and the credit side of the profit and loss account to show the loss. So it's very simple to understand. The final equation is revenue minus expenses equals the net profit, also means the capital. Thirdly, I'm introducing how to prepare the income statement and balance sheet about a service business. Is very significant in the whole service business process. It's also divided into 3 steps. Step 1, identify the nature of each account in the trial balance and name it. Is whether it belongs to the asset, expenses, or liability, or equity, or the income. Then separate the asset and the liability that need to be shown in the balance sheet from the revenue and the expense accounts that are to be shown in the income statement. So the revenue and the expense account showing the income statement. Oppositely, the asset, liability, and own equity appear in the balance sheet. So step 2, The profit or loss for the accounting period is transferred to the owner's capital account. The drawings account is closed off to the owner's capital account. So the final capital in the service business is minus the negative or equity is drawing and plus the profit from the revenue minus the expense. So the capital is the mixed, not the just capital, not the simple capital. It's including the three parts. Step 3. The income statement begins with the revenue earned for the period. Following revenue, our expenses for the period are listed. Finally, the profit or loss for the period is determined. So, I'll show you some example questions about the income statement, balance sheet, and the basic accounts about the service business. So, example 1. The question is, on 13 June, the Sunshine advertising service is a service business about the advertising. This part is a journal ledger. It has the revenue is named fees revenue. So the balance plus the bank total is 20,000. So in there, I put the profit. It's belong to the profit, so I also put 20,000. So, next one is repairs. The advertising equipment is belong to the expenses account. So, the balance, the figure is 70,000. So I put the loss in also 70,000. Sorry. Similarly, the rent also belong to the expense account, so I'll put the 24,000 in the loss account. Electricity expense account 400. Wages also expense account 4,000. Okay. The next step is a general journal. I'll divide the journal to three parts. The first part is the fees revenue and the profit and the loss. These two figures in debts and credit side is equal. So is 20,000. So I'll put this figure fees revenue 20,000. So in profit and loss in credit side, we already know it, but how to calculate the figure 20,000 about the profit and the loss? So I'll leave it. The next part, the profit and loss, the total expenses in this advertising business is the four figures. So in there, the total expenses is about 85,000. And what the meaning of the capital? Oh, sorry, I put this figure is 20,000 minus the total expenses is about 315,000. So the capital means the total revenue minus the total expenses is also this figure. So I put there So in there, the total profit and loss, it means I'm using the capital plus the total expenses is also the 20,000. Next one is profit and loss account. Is this side is about the expenses and this side is revenue. So the total expenses is 20,000, and I'll just straight away is 20,000. So the equation is the revenue minus the expenses equal the net profit. It's also the capital. It's the same. So I use the minus the total expenses equal to the 315,000 is the net profit of the capital. So the final step is transfer the capital to this account, capital account. So the profit and loss at the end of this day is 315,000. So they can see very clearly how to put our figure in different side, in different place, different accounts. The next part, example 2, is about the income statement and balance sheet. So the question is the trial balance at 13 June 2013 of advertising business, also the service business. So in trial balance, we must figure out all information belong to which account. We already know in this side we have asset and expense. In credit side we have the liability, owner equity, and the income. So I'll put the red character and the information to highlight which account they belong. So the total debt side is in that side definitely the same. So it's also the same. If it's not the same, we must double check the data put the wrong side or record mistake. So let's prepare the income statement. We already know the income statement is about the revenue and the expenses of the service business. So in revenue account, the total revenue is fixed revenue is 121,000. Total revenue up there, and the expense is total about there is 9. So the net profit is the total revenue minus total expense is this figure. It's very clear. It just is revenue expenses in income statement. We can forget about the asset, liability, or equity. The equation is revenue expense equal to the net profit Also, this is the plus the capital. So in balance sheet, you must pay attention to the asset, liability, and non-current or current, or equity. The current asset, the total current asset is 37,000. In there is so the total non-current are in there. Total asset is 177,000. And in liability account, the total current liability is account payable and is 2,000. And the loan belongs to the non-current liability is the one. Total liability is 3,000. So the important part is the owner equity. This capital, not just the capital, we refer to the trial balance. We must include the drawing and the net profit in or income statement. The drawing is from the trial balance. So the total figure is, this figure is capital in trial balance minus the drawing from trial balance and minus the and with the net profit in income statement. This figure 874. So the total liability and owner equity, we must plus the total liability and the total equity is also the 177,000. These two figures must equal. If not equal, we must double check our information. There are two possibilities. So one is we must put the figure to the wrong side in our trial balance, and we cannot figure the balance not balance. So this is our income statement and the balance sheet. And the trial balance is very important, because if we do the classification for our account is wrong, the calculation in income statement and the balance sheet will be totally wrong. So we must pay attention to it. So this is the end of my accounting tutorial about the statement of a service business. Thanks for your listening.